What is going on, internet world? My name is Tommy. You probably know me as Rivet, and I'm your coach of the Atlanta Braviaries, the highest flying, flyest looking team on YouTube. And we are here with our Week 8 battle of the ISL Shield Division against Kristi-cakes and the Malcomb Miniors. This is going to be an amazing match. Welcome to the workshop. Alrighty guys, we're here breaking down our Week 8 matchup for the ISL against Kristi-cakes and the Malcomb Miniors. He's got a really scary team, a really offensive team, but I think we have a good squad to take him on this week. Before we get into that, I had some feedback to change up some of the lighting, change up the camera angle a little bit for some general stuff. So as you're going through this video, try to think about, do I like this better or worse? Send me a comment, drop a like or a dislike. Please don't drop a dislike, but send me a comment, tell me tell me what you're thinking about the whole thing. I'm trying to get better at this. I'm still new at this and everything, so any feedback would be greatly appreciated. So feel free to let me know. But let's hop into this team breakdown for this match. It's going to be really good. He's got a really scary team, but I think we have a good team to take him on. First up, he's got Rillaboom. Rillaboom's an incredibly scary mon. Base 125 attack stat. Grassy Glides and Grassy Surges hit really hard with priority. Wood Hammer obviously hits really hard. It can Drain Punch, Knock Off, High Horsepower, U-Turn for momentum. He can run Acrobatics with Grassy Seed with like a Swords Dance set, which can be really scary in the late game. It's just a really great mon. It does have some hard checks that are found in my team. I think I have two of the best checks to Rillaboom in the entire game, in Skarmory and Galarian Weezing. So I'm not necessarily, I don't think it comes. If it comes, I have the pieces for it. And he might bring it just for terrain to set up his Hawlucha, which we'll get into in a second. But otherwise, he could bring something funky, maybe like a specially offensive set with something like Boom Burst to try to get Galarian Weezing with like Throat Sprite, which could be wild. But otherwise, I really don't see it coming unless it's there just to set terrain. Maybe he's like a terrain extender set, maybe a bulky variant to handle something like Gastrodon. But otherwise, I really don't think Rillaboom comes just because Skarmory and Weezing shut it down so hard. Next up, like I said, he's got Hawlucha. Hawlucha pairs really well with Rillaboom thanks to its Unburden ability, running Grassy Seed incredibly well with stuff like Acrobatics. It can Swords Dance up, close combats hit really hard. It can run moves like Thunder Punch to hit my Skarmory. It can taunt things like my Skarmory as well to stop me, Iron Defensing up or anything of the sort. It can also taunt Weezing to stop it from Will-O-Wisp, and he showed that in the past. Definitely scared of Hawlucha. Again, I don't think Rillaboom comes with it. If I were to guess, Hawlucha probably still comes, but maybe with a close combat White Herb set to get rid of those defense drops and then boost up its speed with Unburden. That's what I would have guessed. Maybe like Brave Bird, close combat, Thunder Punch, Swords Dance with that, or maybe like Taunt. So definitely scared of Hawlucha, especially in the late game. Next up, he's got Bronzong. Bronzong, a very defensive Steel and Psychic type with the Levitate and Heat-Proof abilities. Very bulky, a very reliable Stealth Rocker. It can run moves like Gyro Ball, Psychic, Earthquake. I can set Trick Room. I definitely think Bronzong comes this match as its best response to Togekiss. I would fully expect a Heat-Proof Bronzong this week just because it shuts down my Dual Stab and Flamethrower very well. It can Gyro Ball me, do some really big damage. I think I have some solid answers to Bronzong this week, but again, I still definitely think it comes just a bulky Stealth Rocking variant with Heat-Proof, so I have to work around that as best I can. Next up, he's got Manaphy. Manaphy obviously doesn't get Tail Glow anymore, which makes it a little bit more manageable, but again, it's still a beast. Base 100 across the board with some great moves. Surf, Scald, Ice Beam, Energy Ball, Dazzling Gleam, Psychic. It can Calm Mind up, which is really scary. It gets U-Turn for momentum and Knock Off for utility. It's a great Assault Vest user, and that's the set I'm expecting this week. Assault Vest with Scald, Dazzling Gleam, Energy Ball, and either Psychic or Ice Beam, or U-Turn for pivoting, as it's one of his better ways to handle Blacephalon. So I definitely expect Manaphy to come, just a bulky pivoting set. And it's really scary. Or he could also bring Calm Mind. That would put on a lot of pressure against me because one of my better answers to water types in Gastrodon obviously doesn't want to sit in and take Energy Balls from Manaphy, especially at +1. Next up, he's got Charizard. Charizard's really offensive. Fire and Flying type. Usually runs the Heavy Duty Boots to avoid those Stealth Rocks. But Fire Blast and Air Slashes hit really hard. It gets moves like Focus Blast and Scorching Sands to hit opposing like Rock types. It can also run Defog. I believe it gets stuff like Scale Shot to boost up in speed. He can also run something like Power Herb, Solar Beam to hit Gastrodon if he's not afraid of rocks. So again, Charizard's a mon I have to watch out for. I'm not super sure that it comes, just because I don't have a ton of great things to deal with it. Like Gastrodon can obviously be hit by Solar Beam. Aggron doesn't necessarily want to take big flamethrowers. So Charizard I have to watch out for, but I think he's got better monsters to fill the slots. Next up in his tier 5 slot, he's got the mascot pick. He's got Minior. Miniors are really cool. It's very scary, but very situational. Setup sweeper, it's a shell smash sweeper, often seen with white herb. And its ability shields down is really interesting. So under half health, it transitions from a very defensive mon into a very offensive mon. Based on 100 in both attacking stats and 120 speed, which can be very scary, especially when it's shell smashed up. It gets moves like Stone Edge, Earthquake, Acrobatics, especially off of white herb. It gets special moves as well, like Power Jam, Solar Beam. I believe it gets like Meteor Beam now. So very scary. I gotta watch out for it. I don't think it comes. And Skarmory is a pretty decent answer to it, especially if he's a physical set. But I gotta watch out for it nonetheless. Mega Altaria is his next mon. Malt is really scary. A very offensive Dragon Dance sweeper with Pixelate body slams. It also gets Earthquake and stuff like Fire Blast for special coverage. Malt is probably this week. I do have a pretty good answer to it in Galarian Weezing, but he can bring a mix set with something like Fire Blast. It also gets Steel Wing to hit Galarian Weezing. And just if he gets a Dragon Dance or 2 up, this thing is looking to be an absolute hassle. Weezing is my best answer to it, especially if he's carrying Fire Blast. Then Skarmory can't really touch it, just because he's going to be hitting me for massive damage. Even if he's uninvested, Fire Blast are going to be doing a ton. So I got to be careful of Mega Altaria. I cannot let it get set up, because if he's like +1/+1, or if he's carrying like Cotton Guard, maybe he's only like running Body Slam with like Dragon Dance, Cotton Guard, and a Roost, I could be in a ton of trouble. So I really have to be wary of Mega Altaria. I got to figure out what set it is, how invested it is, and deal with it appropriately. Next up, Nidoqueen. Nidoqueen's an amazing wall breaker with Sheer Force, Life Orb, Poison and ground typing. Sludge Wave, Earth Power is a great dual stab with amazing coverage moves and stuff like Ice Beam, Thunderbolt, Flamethrower, Focus Blast. It can set Toxic Spikes as well as Stealth Rocks. It gets some physical moves like Superpower and Crunch. This thing gets every move under the sun, and it hits really hard, especially boosted up by Sheer Force, Life Orb. He can definitely run a more defensive set. He does resist Mega Beedrill's dual stab, so maybe he runs like a Shuka-Berry or Rocky Helmet variant to deal with Mega Beedrill, but otherwise he could just run like Earth Power, Sludge Wave, and some coverage moves or hazards, and that would be a really tough set to deal with. Next up, one of my new favorite mons to use, Weavile. Weavile is an absolute menace in this match, just because my only ice resist is Aggron, and Aggron doesn't exactly want to take a Life Orb or Banded Low Kick. So Triple Axle is looking ridiculous against me. I gotta be super careful. I think I have a pretty decent answer to Weavile, but otherwise, if this thing gets going, I don't have really good answers to it. Most of my team, even fully physically defensive, is getting 2-shot by Axle. Knockoff is a great utility move to remove berries or my Rocky Helmet, as you'll see. And then Low Kick obviously can hit Aggron, so I gotta be really careful with Weavile. So next up, he's got Zygarde, 10% Zydog, a really powerful ground and dragon type. 1,000 Arrows is an amazing move, very spammable, especially with Choice Band. He can also Dragon Dance to set up. He gets moves like Stone Edge, Outrage, Iron Tail. If he's feeling cheesy, he can run something like Sludge Wave, but it's a really scary mon, both setup or just banned. So definitely very scared of Zydog. I don't have super great switch-ins to 1,000 Arrows, especially in the late game. E-Speed is there to hit stuff like Mega Beedrill, especially if he's banded, it's going to do a ton to me. So I really have to be careful of Zydog. I definitely think it comes, because it's really strong in this match. Then last up, he's got Skuntank. Skuntank's a really cool utility mon. Poisoning, Dark typing, which is fantastic. It gets moves like Sludge Bomb, Dark Pulse, Flamethrower, can Nasty Blood up with those. He can also run defensive sets. It does have pretty good HP, base 103, I think. It gets cool physical moves like Sucker Punch to catch stuff like Mega Beedrill. It does have the Aftermath ability, which would chip down something like Beedrill, especially if it was like Rocky Helmet Aftermath. That would do a ton to me, especially after something like Stealth Rocks. He can also run Memento. Kristi is shown to run Memento very well on Skuntank, especially the past couple of games this season, to set up for big sweepers like Zygarde, Weavile, and Mega Altaria. So I have to be really careful of a Memento Skuntank this week, so that I can't, or so that Weavile doesn't come in, or Zydog doesn't come in and set up for free against me while I can't hit them. So I have to be really wary of that. It might come just because it's a dark resist for something like Hydreigon, and obviously for Indeedee, because something like Weavile doesn't want to take a Dazzling Gleam for Mystical Fire. So with all that out of the way, let's hop into what I am bringing this match. Leading us off, we got Lernie rocking a Choice Spec set, Draco Meteor, Dark Pulse, Flash Cannon, and U-Turn Max Special Attack Modest with Max Speed. This lets me Speed Tie Rillaboom if he's got something like Superpower or Drain Punch. Prior to Mega Altaria Megaing, he has really no answer to Draco Meteor. His only resist is Bronzong, which doesn't want to take a Specs Dark Pulse. Dark Pulse looks really good. His resists are stuff like Skunk Tank, which if he's offensive is going to do a ton. Weavile doesn't want to take Specs Dark Pulses. Flash Cannon is there for Weavile. It's also there for Mega Altaria post Mega. And then U-Turn is just for pivoting around. If he's got something like a bulky AV Manaphy, I can switch out, get into something else to deal with that. But otherwise, Lerny's looking great to just smash some holes in his team this week. I really need him to do good work. I need him to break stuff like Nidoqueen, as you'll see. But breaking stuff like Nidoqueen, Bronzong, and Skunk Tank, or like bulky Manaphy are absolutely crucial to this match. I really need Lerny to do his job to make room for big boy Windshear over here. Oh, I forgot to put up. Well, we'll pretend that Hydra was there. But Windshear's coming back. Windshear's trying to pick up some more kills. Rocking fully physically defensive set this week with leftovers, Brave Bird, Body Press, Iron Defense, and Roost. This is my win con this match. After Nidoqueen is gone, and after Charizard, I don't think Charizard comes, but if it comes, once he's gone, and once either Altaria is severely weakened or I learn it doesn't have a fire move, Windshear is looking fantastic to clean up this match. If I can get an Iron Defense up in front of something like Hawlucha or Bronzong or Zydog or Weavile, I'm looking fantastic to clean up this game with Brave Bird and Body Press. Roost is there for longevity. This is also just a good last-ditch effort if I really need to stop Hawlucha sweep. Close combat at +2 Adamant is doing like 66 to me max. Brave Bird does a ton. So with a little bit of chip, I'm clean-o-coing that thing. If he's at +1, it's obviously a different story. I'll have to be a little bit careful, but I can play the Iron Defense and Roost up. So we'll see how that goes. But I'm really hoping Windshear can do some good work. Because like the first couple of games of the season, he was untouchable, and now he hasn't really done anything. So in the last couple of games, I'm trying to get Windshear back in the game. So next up, we got Serendipity 3, the Togekiss, coming in with a Choice Scarf set this week with Serene Grace, Air Slash, Dazzling Gleam, Defog, and Trick. Max Plus Shell Attack, Max Speed, Timid. This helps me outspeed, or speed tie Mega Altaria at +1 if he's Jolly. Air Slash is looking great for just spamming. He doesn't have great flying resist. He's only got Bronzong and Minior. Dazzling Gleam hits Minior very well. Trick is there for the Bronzong coming in, because obviously, especially if it's heat-proof, Serendipity's not doing anything to that thing. But Trick and Bronzong and Scarf would be fantastic to shut it down. It would neuter his Gyro Ball, and it would make it so that he can't run stuff like Toxic or Stealth Rock very, very well. He would have to go for something and switch out or throw that thing away, which would help me a lot in the late game. Or the early game. Just getting rid of Bronzong is a huge key. And then Defog is there just for removing hazards. If you set something with something like Minior or Bronzong or Nidoqueen, I can get rid of those. Especially once I've tricked Bronzong my Choice Scarf. If I get something like leftovers, play a little bit of a more defensive role. This is another not really answer to Hawlucha. I am quad resisting that close combat, which is really good, but I don't want to take a Brave Bird, especially at +2, as I have no investment. Next up, coming back after a long hiatus, we got Mr. Tibbles the Weezing, and he's got a huge role to fill this week. Rocking Black Sludge and Levitate, Sludge Bomb, Strange Steam, Will-O-Wisp, and Pain Split, max HP, a good amount of defense with the Bold Nature, and 68 in special defense. This special defense investment lets me not get 3-shot by Mega Altaria uninvested with something like Naughty Nature, with Fire Blast. Sludge Bomb is doing a bunch to that. Strange Steam is there for Hawlucha. This is one of my best answers to Hawlucha, but Tibbles needs to do so much this match. He needs to check Mega Altaria. That's his main goal. Rillaboom if it comes. Hawlucha in a strange situation. It's a decent answer to Weavile. It's a good answer to physically offensive Minior. It's a good answer to Skunk Tank. I just need Tibbles to do so much. Will-O-Wisp is great for his big offensive physical sweepers. Pain Split is there to keep myself as healthy as possible in conjunction with Black Sludge. But Tibbles has a huge job this week. I really need to keep him around, and for him to check those big mons so that stuff like Lerny can come in, stuff like Serendipity can come in and claim some kills. But he's got a huge job to fill. And I believe him. I believe in Tibbles. He's a beast. He's had a big long rest sitting on the bench, so he needs to get back in here. Next up, Thunder Snail coming back. Gastrodon the Thunder Snail rocking a especially defensive set this week. Rindo Berry and Storm Drain. Scald, Ice Beam, Recover, and Toxic. This is one of my better answers to deal with Charizard as well as Nidoqueen, and especially offensive Minior. Scald obviously hits all three of those very hard. Ice Beam is there for something like a Zydog switch in or a Mega Altaria switch in. Neither of those are very safe because obviously Scald could burn. It's also there for the Rillaboom switch in. Recover just for longevity, and Toxic to get something like Rillaboom on a switch in, or most importantly, a Assault Vest Manaphy. Because if he is a Assault Vest, which I think he needs to be to take on stuff like Lerny on Blacephalon, he doesn't have the ability to run something like Rain Dance with Hydration to heal off those Toxics. And he doesn't have a super reliable cleric on his team, if at all, now that I'm looking at it. So I really need to be able to get a Toxic off on that Manaphy, which I really like. Rindo Berries there for me to eat something like an Energy Ball from Manaphy, or a Solar Beam from something like Charizard or Minior, and get a Toxic or a big Scald on any of those. And just with how specially bulky I am, none of those are doing a whole lot to me with my Rindo Berry. And then last but not least, Kill the Hitmontop is coming back with a Rocky Helmet set with Intimidate, Triple Axle, Mach Punch, Resting Sleep Talk, fully physically defensive. This is my best answer, and really only answer to Weavile. Weavile, I hate so much prepping for because it just requires a dedicated mon every week to try to take on Triple Axle. So with the Rocky Helmet, he's taking half of his health if he wants to Triple Axle into my Hitmontop. Mach Punch obviously scares that thing away, even without Technician. It's just obliterating it and out-prioritizing Triple Axle. If he's like Life Orb and goes for Axle into Ice Shard, it's not doing nearly enough to me. I can rest up, I can start Sleep Talking. His team, as much as my team doesn't like Ice, his hates it even more. So it's just spamming stuff like Triple Axle into his team, into essentially anything other than Bronzong. Axle is doing a buttload. This is a good answer to Zydog as well, because obviously Wind Shear doesn't want to take 2,000 arrows, neither does Tibbles. So even Banded 1,000 arrows does like 38% max to me. If he locks into Outrage, I can go into Serendipity. If he locks into Stone Edge, Kial's taking that for days, and then Triple Axle scares that thing out. I wanted to bring Bulk up. I don't have the slots. I need Triple Axle and Mach Punch, and I need my helmet for Triple Axle from Weavile, so I can't run Chesto or anything. But Hitmontop needs to be there to check Weavile. If Weavile for some reason doesn't show up, then this will be a dedicated Zydog response, but I definitely think Weavile's coming just because of how weak my team is to Ice. So with that out of the way, let's hop into this match. Alrighty guys, we are about to hop into this match against Kristi-cakes in the Malcomb Miniors. You can see the 6 I expect him to bring up on the screen. Mega Altaria, Weavile, Nidoqueen, Bronzong, Manaphy, and Zygarde 10%. I could also see Rillaboom plus Hawlucha if he's feeling cheeky, or that Charizard. You've seen the 6 I am bringing and why I'm bringing them this match. If you haven't, go check out the team builder. But let's hop into this match. Okay, we do see Skuntank instead of Weavile. Okay, so that's totally fine. Other than that, I'm looking good. I really got to be careful of that Memento Weavile, as I said. The Memento Skuntank, excuse me. But otherwise, that makes a ton of sense. I'm very happy to just not see that Rillaboom and Hawlucha as much as I didn't expect it. I'm just relieved not to see Hawlucha. It's such a menace every match. Oh, I brought the wrong team. Okay, so looking at his team, he could definitely lead Manaphy just because it's bulky and silly and he can U-turn out or put on pressure. He could lead Zong or Nidoqueen to set hazards. Lerny is not a great lead because he could lead Zydog or Manaphy if he's like speed invested with D-Gleam. That'll do a ton. I definitely don't want to lead Skarmory just because I need him for the late game. Togi isn't a terrible lead. Neither is Hitmontop, especially since I don't see Weavile. Thundersnail is also not a bad lead. I can Scald into something pretty safely or toss off a Toxic. So I think that I like that lead the best. I'm going to lead Thundersnail. Yeah, let's do that. Alright, Zong comes out. Totally cool. I don't want to take a Toxic on Thundersnail. He could also set Rocks. I don't want to go into Tibbles though, because if he goes for something like Gyro Ball or Heavy Slam, I'm going to take a bunch. I could also go into Wind Shear. Wind Shear is a very safe play. I'm going to do that on the Toxic or Gyro Ball. Oh, he's going to... Wow, he tricked? Okay. That's very interesting. Well, that majorly stinks. Okay. Well, I'm glad I didn't lose anything on Thundersnail, but that's very interesting to see Sticky Barb. He's probably gonna go into Nidoqueen here, or he's gonna set Rocks. I'm gonna go into Lerny, try to be offensive. He's gonna set his Rocks now, and I'm just going to drop a Draco. I think there's no way he stays in for this because he's not Colbur, and his Dragon Resist is this thing. So I'm gonna drop a Draco. He stays in. Wow, good play. He's just gonna Body Press, I guess. He's gonna Toxic me. I really can't. I don't believe he stayed in for that, but okay. I'm gonna go back into Wind Shear, I guess. That was just a good play. He goes into Molt this time. I could Iron Head him. He has to be wary of that. He's probably just gonna Fire Blast, or he's gonna start setting up. So I'm gonna go into Tibbles. Fire spin. Okay. Wow, he brought some really funky stuff. Alright, well, I'm just gonna fire off. He's gonna go back into Bronzong, I think. I'm just gonna Willow. He's trapping with Perishong? What? Okay, he brought heat this week. Holy crap. Oh my goodness. Well, that's god tier. Body slam. Alright, well, he's probably got Roost. I'm not going to be able to kill this thing, and I'm going to lose Tibbles here. Not that it matters, because this was like my check to like sweeping Altaria. I am in shock. Wow. Yeah. I guess I'm just gonna Strange Team. He's just gonna go into Bronzong probably. Maybe I can get a Confusion. He goes into Nidoqueen. Unreal. I cannot believe that happened. I am in absolute shock. I'm in shock. Well, I'm gonna go back into Learning, I guess, and fire off a Dark Pulse or a Draco. No, not. No, because this thing can definitely take a hit from Learning. So I'm blown away. This is not what I expected whatsoever. I mean, I didn't expect memes. Kristi's got a good team and a good chance. I think he still has a good chance at playoffs. So let's see how much Learny's gonna do to Nidoqueen. Like if he's got Ice Beam and he's like Sheer Force, Life Orb, Modest, he's gonna dent me. He could also be like physically offensive if he's feeling cheesy. I'm gonna go into Gastro. Gastro doesn't take a lot from really anything. So let's go into Gastro here. And I'm just gonna fire off the Scald, I guess. He's probably just gonna go into Bronzong. He goes into Manaphy. That's fine. 11. That's definitely not Assault Vest. Yeah. That could be max HP or that was a mineral. I'm gonna fire off a Toxic. There's the Energy Ball. I'm gonna eat that fine. I just want to get Toxic off on this thing. So that's cool. If he shows me Rain Dance with Hydration now, I'm gonna be really sad, but I'm gonna go into Serendipity and try to get these rocks out of here. Or just start Air Slash flinching something. He could be Choice Scarf as well. He's just gonna go into Bronzong, I think. I could get my leftovers back, which would be really funny. But I'm just gonna defog. Skunk Tank comes out. That's a good play because I didn't want to give this thing. I didn't want to get Black Sludge. So I'm gonna go into Learny and try to keep the pressure up. I gotta start breaking something. Fire Blast. Yep, he expected Scarm to come in. Not at all surprised to see that. And I'm just gonna fire off. He's shown his hand with Altaria, so I definitely wouldn't. Oh, this thing gets Flare Up actually, so I'm gonna U-turn and Scout for Flare Up. He's got Helmet. That's fine. I'm gonna go back into Thundersnail. He goes for Memento. Okay, well he's gonna try to set up his Zydog. Yeah, that's really bad for me. Kjal is still fully healthy though, so that's totally okay, and I can Axle this thing into the next dimension. So I'm gonna go hard into Hitmontop. Yep, he goes for DD. And I'm just gonna go straight for Axle. He's gonna set up again and see how much this does. Bonk. Hit it. Bonk. Get the last one. Attaboy. Alright, well, Ziggy 10 is dead. Kjal's doing his job. Attaboy. Skunk Tank is no longer an issue. So, as a while, I knew that Memento was probably coming, but I really didn't expect him to try to set up that early, especially with Axel sitting right there. So, at this point, Altaria is still being a cheese god over here. So I can't set up just yet. Zing Zong is here. I want to see what you're going to do. You're either going to... You probably can't touch Wind Shear. If you trick again, I can take some leftovers back. There's a Toxic. I'm just going to Roost up. Sticky Barb. How annoying. He's just going to go into Malt here. Oh, he's going to go into Nidoqueen. That's fine. I'm going to get most of my health back. And I'm just going to go into Gastro. He can Toxic me, he can fire off an Earth Power. That'll do a lot. I might die after 2, especially if he's fully invested. Taunt is totally fine. He's probably just going to go into Manaphy again. He could also go into Maul, which I don't want that to happen, so I'm going to Ice Beam in case Maul comes in. Because I don't want to let him roost up for free. This definitely won't kill him, but it'll do a lot. And he's already burned, so... Alright, Manaphy comes back in. I'm cool with that. He can Energy Ball. He can also just fire off the Scald. He could D-Gleam now. D-Gleam, like, in front of me, which would be really scary. I'm trying to think of what I need the most. Wind Shear is a necessity to beat. I mean, so Lerny can beat Bronzong. Serendipity can come out. Serendipity's fairly useless, and it can take any hit mostly, unless he's got Ice Beam. He's gonna go for Ice Beam now. Oh, I lived it. That's super hype. He's probably Choice Scarf. So I'm gonna go into Kjol because I want to be able to trick that Bronzong if I can. I'm gonna go into Kjol and see who he goes for. Or I can go back into Thunders now and recover up. He goes into Zong. Well, there was my trick opportunity. So the fact that he switched out leads me to believe that he thinks I'm Choice Scarfed. He's gonna Toxic me though, so I'm gonna go back into Wind Shear. If he doubles out into Molt, then that's fine. He's gonna sit Rocks again. I'm just gonna Brave Bird. Or I can double out. I mean, Serendipity dies on switch in now, so that really stinks, but I can also go out into Thunder Snail. This is really not going well. He probably just goes back into Nidoqueen. So I'm gonna go into Thunder Snail. Yeah, Nidoqueen comes out, and he's gonna taunt me probably. I'm just gonna Scald. He goes into Molt this time, then good play. But Manaphy's getting severely chipped down through Toxic. Actually, if he taunts me and I go for Scald, it'll do a chunk. I need to chip this thing a little bit, so I'm gonna Scald. He's gonna Toxic, that's fine. Scald's gonna do a bunch. Burn? Nope. No burn. That's fine. And if he's either gonna switch out into Manaphy or Bronzong this time. If he taunts now, he's good. Okay, Protect. That's fine. Recover up. Toxic is wearing me down. I don't think he'd stay in here. He could taunt me this time. But I think at this point, my play is to sack off Serendipity and see what he goes for. He's going to go into Manaphy. That's cool. And at this point, I think I want to go into... If he's he's probably uninvested, like Speedy with Dazzling Gleam. So I'm going to go into Kjol, I think, and fire off... Yeah, Kjol's my best bet, I think. And just fire off an Axel. Maybe if he stays in, then cool, I'll chip him down with Toxic. If he goes into Bronzong, then whatever. But close combat would do a decent chunk to Bronzong. I haven't shown anything else other than Axel. I'm hoping he goes into Molt here, predicting a close combat. That'd be the best case scenario. Or if he stays in and surfs. If he Scalds, then I can rest up. He goes for Psychic. Oh, that does a lot. Okay, well that's really bad, because now I'm totally chipped down. Hit him on top. Manaphy, Psychic. He did 63. Yeah, so he's fully invested. Modest, it looks like. So he's probably Choice Scarfed. I'm going to go into Lerny. Oh man, if he goes for D-Gleam right now, I'm in trouble. But I gotta make the bet he doesn't. He goes into Zong. I'm gonna click Dark Pulse. A wild game so far. This is definitely not what I expected at all. But it's something. This is a game. Oh dear God. Come on, Lerny. Oh, he lived it. No! He's gonna Gyro Ball. I'm gonna die. Dang. That really stinks. I guess I go into... I think I've lost. I can't beat Molt now. because Windshear doesn't have Iron Head. I'm gonna go into Thunder Snail, I guess. I'm gonna have to manage this incredibly well. Let's see if Ice Beam will kill this guy. I cannot believe he ate that. That was a Specs modest Dark Pulse. What was he at? He was at like 100 too, I'm pretty sure. No, so he was at close. He's pretty invested. Maybe he's fully invested. Yeah, that was fully invested. He's fully specially invested, I think. So Gastro will kill with Scald. It won't kill with Ice Beam. I'm just gonna Scald. Gotta pick up the kill. Yeah. All right. Well, that thing's dead. But the issue is Maul. This is gonna be really close. Yeah, Manaphy comes out. My play, I think, is to sack off Kyal. Because... No, he's got Roost. Oh man, it's going to come down to... I don't think I can outstall that Altaria. He can Energy Ball here. I'm going to go into... I'm going to go into Windshear because if he... His last move has to be Scald. And if he, I'm assuming he's Choice Scarf. I don't think there's any way he's not Choice Scarf. If I go into Skarmory, Surf has a chance to kill me after Rocks. And then either of those two kill me. That's the other thing. So I think Windshear is my most useless member. Nidoqueen has Taunt, Toxic Protect, and maybe it's not Flamethrower, but I think Kyal is more useful because Axel, and I don't know. I'm gonna go into Skarmory. Please don't kill me. He goes for Psychic. All right, I'm pretty sure you're Choice Scarf. I'm just gonna Roost. He goes for Psychic again. I live. Roost up. Manaphy dies. Malt probably comes in here, and I think I have to click. This is going to be really close. Alright, Nidoqueen comes out, so I think my play is to go into Gastro. Your last move must be Flamethrower. Let's go into Gastro and see what happens. Flamethrower, yep. Crit me. Doesn't matter. My play is to... Let's see how much Altaria is going to take from an Ice Beam before I do this. So Weezing took 10.8 from Fire Spin. I never thought I would say that sentence in my life. Well, realistically, let's see how much Sludge Bomb did. Sludge Bomb did 41 from Weezing. So he's specially defensive, it looks like. Yup. He's Spidef. Was that like a max roll? No. So he's either not fully specially defensive or he's like Spidef Adamant or something like that. So Gastro with Ice Beam doesn't do nearly enough. And this thing is burned, so I can't Toxic it. So I think he's going to be able to pull this off. If he goes into Alt here, it's also going to, I mean, I'm sure Body Slam does enough to kill Kyal even after Intimidate. I can chip him down though. I'm going to recover. He goes into Malt. He's going to Roost here. I'm sure of it. And I'm going to go into Windshear and try to hit it for something. Yep. He can Fire Spin. So I'm just going to click Brave Bird. I wish I had Iron Head right now. I lived it. Bonk. Hit 32. That's not going to be enough. Let's see how much Alt is. Alt definitely does enough to hit Mon after Intimidate. Oh yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna need like a freeze with Gastro. Or I'm gonna have to cycle Intimidates. I'll go into Kyal and just get the Intimidate off to make Gastro's life a little easier, but I don't think it's gonna matter. I'll rest. He goes for Fire Spin. Okay, well, that gives me a chance at least. And now I'm gonna click Sleep Talk. Please get Axel. Please get Axel. He's gonna roost. Please get Axel. Sleep Talk. I got Mach Punch. That blows. I'm gonna click it again. Body Slam this time. He's gonna take Helmet Chip. Get Axel. Please, get Axel. Come on, this will do a lot. No! Hate to see it. And I'm gonna rest again. This is so weird. This is not the late game I expected at all. Come on, big man. It only takes one Sleep Talk triple Axel. Maybe. I mean, Axel doesn't do a lot at all, but it does enough where he's gonna have to keep chipping himself down with Body Slam. And burn. I got Mach Punch again. Come on, bro. It's not that big of a chance. I'm freed from Fire Spin. That's hype. Please get triple Axel. Please get triple Axel. No, dude. Alright, well, I'm gonna rest again. I think, actually, had I just clicked triple Axel there, I think I would have won. I'm stupid as hell. Because now he gets the roost up, but triple Axel would have killed. Oh, I'm so stupid. No, alright, well, he roosts. Come on, Sleep Talk. Triple Axel. No, Mach Punch. Leave me alone, Mach Punch. I'm begging you. No more Mach Punch. Get Axel this time, please. Sleep Talk. I got Mach Punch again. No. Alright, well, he's got Taunt. Okay, he's going to taunt me. I'm going to go back into Thundersnail. He's going to try to stop me from resting. There's the taunt. I'm going to click Scald, I guess. This is the jankiest thing I've ever done in my life. Oh my god. Protect. Alright, if I were to bet, he goes back into Malt here. So I'm going to go back into Kyal, I think, and try to catch that thing coming in. There's no way he clicks Flamethrower or Taunt. Go back into Kyal. Yep, there comes Malt. Hello again. My name is Kyal, and I'm back to fuck you. Okay. So Kyal is back. I think my play this time is to click Axel. He can roost, but I'm gonna click Axel this time. Queen comes back out. I wake up. Let's see how much this does. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So another one of those will kill. I gotta see how much this Nido Queen is gonna do to me. I can't imagine he's got investment. And he's Black Sludge, not Sheer Orb. Life Orb. Let's see how much that last Flamethrower did to me. Man, had I gotten one triple Axel with all those, this might be a different game. But I got all of the Mach Punches, baby. All of them. Okay. So Thundersnail took 13.1 from a Flamethrower. I don't know how that's doing so much. He's Black Sludge with Flamethrower. Oh, that was a crit, that's why. Okay. So crit Flamethrower did 13.1. So he's got some investment, but not max. Or he's max special attack timid. Yeah, so he's max special attack timid. So let's see how much Hitmontop takes from a Flamethrower. It does over half. So if I stay in here, I'm probably dead. I gotta go back. Oh, he goes for Protect? Okay, well this is a 50-50 on whether I go for Scald or Recover, and whether he clicks Taunt or goes into Maul. Dang. How much did I do to this guy? Have I scalded this thing at all yet? I have no idea. I don't think so. Jeez, a Lou. Alright, well. Axel did a sum of approximately 50%, so I can take that to my... Alright, so he's invested. Yeah, so it looks like I got a min roll on Axel. So Gastro might be able to kill this thing. I'm gonna click Scald. He goes for Protect. Alright, well, the play was Recover. If I click Recover and he taunts me, I think I lose, because then I'll be at 15%. If I'm him, I either click Taunt or I double back into Maul. I click Taunt or I go back into Maul. I'm gonna click Scald. He taunts me. Okay, I think he should die. Die. Yeah, attaboy Thunder Snail! Alright, well, Malt's gonna come in. He's gonna roost, I think. He's gonna roost. I'm gonna go into Kial and cycle in Intimidate. Or if he fire spins and traps Kial in and then clicks Perish Song, I can rest. And then Thunder Snail will just be sitting here. I think my play is Kial to minimize the amount of damage I'm gonna take. I'm gonna go into Kial and try to cycle the Intimidate. If he Perish Songs me, that should be okay. There's the roost. I'm gonna go back into Gastro to cycle the Intimidate. And it's gonna be a matter of who dies first to Perish Song. And I have no idea who it's gonna be. So I'm gonna click Axel. Fire spin. 8, 15, 25. He's gonna roost. And I have to click rest. No! He went for Body Slam! Had I clicked Axel there, I would have won! Oh my god, why? Why? Alright, Sleep Talk. There's the roost this time. Get Axel, please. Come on. Alright, Axel. Crit. Come on. Oh, he's so close. No. Okay, Sleep Talk again. He's gonna roost. This is so exciting. Come on, Triple Axel, please, please. No. He's gonna roost again. I think my play is Axel again. Roost. Let's see how much Axel does. Crit, please, come on. Big damage. Burn. I'm gonna click it again. Axel. He's probably just gonna Body Slam. I think Axel's gonna kill this thing. He was like, I'm sick of this stupid PP stall. What in the hell was that? On God, the strangest battle ever. Wow. GG's to Kristi-cakes, the absolute baller. I have the utmost respect for you, my man. I hope you watch this battle. You are a Chad, the Chadliest man. There's been some great people in the ISL so far. What a great league this has been. But Kristi-cakes might take the cake for the most absolute boss man of all time. But holy crap, is that what I call a riveting win. Jeez-a-loo. Kial putting in work. Homeboy needs to get to work on his Sleep Talk, but you know, that's the game you play. Live by the sword, almost die by the sword. He's picking up the dub. Wow, I have no words. So, if you guys stayed around for this battle, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Be sure to leave a like. If you enjoyed the battle, leave a comment telling me if you like the new angle. I don't know. I tried my best. Or just leave a like for Kristi-cakes, bro. Man is an absolute G. Great battle, great prep. So, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Take care.